Hello, and welcome to a full demo video of Katana. This is great for anyone who's just kind of curious about what Katana can do. Although it's not going to go into every possible thing that you can do, I'm kind of hoping to give you a good understanding of what Katana's capabilities are, just to give you a good idea is it a good fit for your company? Now, Katana itself is a cloud-based inventory software. It's built for modern businesses, so it helps small to medium companies stay on top of inventory, production, and sales through its real-time visibility. Katana helps businesses across many types of industries, particular furniture, food, health, beauty, fashion, and electronics, but that's just some of them. Really can kind of help almost any industry depending on what your needs are. So whether you're a small to medium manufacturer or a reseller, Katana can bring visual clarity through real-time inventory management and visual production planning. Plus, with integrations to Shopify, QuickBooks, HubSpot, and several others, it's very easy to keep everything organized and connected. And that's really the whole goal. Now, let's explore the Katana interface. The main dashboard menu gives you access to the sell, make, buy, stock, plan, insights, and items catalog screens, bringing together customer orders, vendor orders, production orders, inventory planning, and reporting all in one place. Using a consistent and intuitive color-coded design, the visual boards show exactly what is happening in real time in relation to stock availability, order status, and progression. Let's look at a sales order. Notice the consistency and the interconnectedness of orders in the system. Now, here's a manufacturing order. Once complete, status is updated. It's all in real time in addition to the main screens. You also have the global create button right here. You've got Kai or Katana AI, and there's the integrations marketplace where you can find and connect to your other software that you have. Right here there's notifications and help, and of course the account settings themselves and admin settings. Let's explore the sell screen in more detail. So sales orders can be created manually or automatically synced from e-commerce platforms like Shopify, BigCommerce, WooCommerce, or a CRM software like HubSpot. You can easily see where these orders have originated from. And the stoplight color coding helps users quickly understand the current status of their customer orders. Any late delivery dates will turn red as well. The customer is expecting this order on the 16th, but it looks like we're not expecting the item from our vendor until the 18th. So this helps you make particular decisions. Do I manage my customer's expectations, or can I ask my vendor to get the items to me quicker? Using the drag and drop feature, orders can be prioritized to push urgent work to the front of the queue. This order here looks like it's missing some ingredients. What if I move it to the top of the queue? Now they're showing in stock. Katana can automatically reallocate materials for orders that are reprioritized. Okay, now let's create some sales orders. You can create orders by selecting the Create Sales Order button on the sell screen or from anywhere in the software using the Global Create button. For existing customers reordering existing products, you could even use the Kai AI bot. You just simply cut and paste or type an order request information or even attach PDF copy of the customer PO that was sent to you. Now let's get Kai working on an order I received by purchase order. Okay, let's find that purchase order and send it to Kai. Now, while Kai is working on that, I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to manually create an order. So first, just start typing a customer name. If it's there, select from the drop-down options, or you can just create a new one on the fly. Then you go ahead and add any pertinent details and update to the delivery deadlines. You can even change where you want to ship from because we support multi-location inventory management. Select then the products and add them to the order. Update the quantities and add any discounts if applicable. Now, Katana can tell you immediately what the status of the inventory items requested by your customers are. And now you can go ahead and proceed with fulfillment. As mentioned, orders can come in automatically from various e-commerce platforms connected to your Katana account. Let's look at Shopify. So customers can visit your site and select the items they want to buy and proceed to checkout. Once the order is paid for in Shopify, that order will simultaneously appear in the Shopify backend, as well as in Katana. And there we go. There's a new order. I can see immediately that it's in stock, so I can give instructions to pack. The progression of this order is now moved to ready for packing. I can print a packing list and give it to my team, who can go and begin packing the order, or I can use the warehouse app. And the team members can use a smart scanner, tablet, or smartphone to initiate the pick and pack. They can find orders, open them, start the task, and even use a scanner to start picking and packing the order. There, we found the right item. And now I can start counting off the required amount. Once the order is complete, back in the main Katana program, you'll see that the status has been updated and picked and packed, and now they can be delivered. How about we check in on how Kai is making out? Well, it looks like he's created the order for me. Let's go ahead and double check it. And there's the order. Kai has correctly pulled from the PDF quantities, the delivery deadline, the customer reference number I've added. Everything looks good. It's the right customer. Everything maps. So it's in pending now, so I can go ahead and double check it. Add the discount that's associated with this customer automatically in this case. And so now let's go ahead and confirm that order. So now I can see that I need to make the item, and that's why it's not available, and that maybe some of the ingredients aren't quite available yet, but I can certainly initiate production from here if I want. Finally, as mentioned, Katana supports multi-location fulfillment. This allows me to fulfill orders from different fulfillment centers. So in this case, it looks like one of the items isn't available at Warehouse 1, but it looks like I have lots at the main distribution warehouse, so let's go ahead and change that. Now, this order can progress and be fulfilled. Having seen how Katana tracks raw materials and finished goods in real time in relation to sales orders, let's quickly take a look at the stock screen for a moment. So this is the dashboard that shows you all of your inventory. You can view just by finished goods or products or the raw materials. Here you can see all of your products and materials, essentially all of your inventory items. Columns show SKUs, categories, default suppliers, internal barcodes, but importantly, the numbers are here, so total value of inventory, and current moving average cost for each of the items, and current value of each of the items in inventory. It will show you what's in stock for each of your inventory items, what's committed, what's expected, and on this screen, you can set safety stock levels, so the minimum threshold you never want to drop below. In real time, Katana will show you the calculated stock amount. It takes into consideration the in-stock amount minus committed plus any expected amounts, and the safety stock level. And it will give you a relevant number. As far as stock availability, if you drop below 0, it will turn the amount red. It'll put it in the negative. And also, it will add to your alert notifications so you can easily tell. What's important is these numbers move in response to activity elsewhere within Katana. So if you create a sales order and deliver a sales order, the relevant numbers will increase and decrease as the sales orders progress. When it's created, the committed amounts for the items on the sales order will increase. And when it's delivered, the in-stock amount for those items will decrease automatically from inventory. Expected amounts will go up in response to either a manufacturing order being created or a purchase order to a vendor being created. So the amounts on those orders. The amount of finished goods I expect to manufacture on any given production run, or the amount of materials or goods I'm receiving from a vendor that I issued a PO to will increase and decrease in the expected column as I issue and complete those orders. And of course, as I receive goods on a PO. Not only will the expected amount go down, but the in-stock amount will go up. And as I complete production on an individual work order, the same flow of inventory and the numbers here will reflect in real time as individual team members open and close the different orders within the system. So I'm not actually manipulating these numbers in any manual way other than the safety stock level. But this gives me an overall understanding of inventory, and I can use the various filters to look at specific and important inventory numbers based on my current needs. Plus, I can also do that across locations if you're using multi-locations. One of the most used filters is putting a negative sign in calculated stock so that I can see all of, in this case, my materials where I'm below 0, and then initiate actions, and in this case, issue purchase orders directly from the stock screen. If I want more details, let's go ahead and look at my commitment levels, which tell me about these commitments. I simply select the value, and it shows me my committed tab. It shows me where these are actually committed. So 2 on one work order, that these are committed here. And I'm expecting more to come in on this purchase order because I can complete this work order. The in-stock tab shows me the complete history and movement of inventory, and the expected shows me where the items expected from, in this case, a purchase order from my supplier. If you bundle products, Katana can also show you the potential without having to have any bundled products created in inventory. So this tells me that the items that go into my bundle, there's enough quantity in stock to make 17. I have 55 of these bundles in stock, but I can make 17 more bundles from the inventory status of the individual items that go into that bundle. The stock screen is also where you can take care of your inventory administrative tasks. So it shows me my complete, historical, and current batch lists. So these are for products and materials that I assigned batch lot codes to and expiry dates potentially. If I serialize my finished goods, this is the record of all of the serial numbers and where the serial numbers were applied. This allows for full traceability. Now, for most stock movements, Katana users will rely on automation, creating purchase orders, receiving materials or products on purchase orders, creating manufacturing orders, completing manufacturing, consuming the raw materials, and creating finished goods in the process, receiving sales orders, and delivering those sales orders. All that, as you've seen, will move inventory, update numbers in real time, but there's always a need to adjust stock manually. So that's what stock adjustments can do. So you just go ahead and create an adjustment. You give the reason for the adjustment. Adjust the amount up or down, and that's it. If I look at the history, I received 500 on this purchase order. I consumed 2 on work orders as I printed custom logos onto them. And then somebody dropped a case and I had to do a stock adjustment to take 24 out of inventory. Stock transfers help you manage your multi-location inventory. So I can move stock easily on a transfer and see the status of that transfer over to the other location. And finally, there's tools here to assist our users with cycle counts or stock takes depending on the terminology. So you can create a stock take, then proceed with the cycle count and close the stock take. The update numbers will generate an automatic stock adjustment from the completed stock take in the system. Now, let's see how production is managed in Katana. So we'll start from the sell screen again. And I will open an order that Kai helped me with. And we'll initiate a make to order work order. So from the sales order, I can select make to order, and Katana will automatically generate a work order. The default lead time on that work order for production finish date will be added to the sales order. The manufacturing order itself will take the sales order number and append a number to the end of it, so it's easy to trace. I can jump into that manufacturing order, and as you can see, I've automatically moved to the main screen. In the order, I can see the raw materials and the quantities of raw materials required to make 10 pieces of the finished product. I can see what's been picked, what's not been picked. I can see the costs associated with all of this. And also I can see the individual operations or tasks that are required to transform these raw materials into a finished product. And these tasks can be set up in sequence, in parallel, however you most prefer. I can also see that this task already has an operator assigned. Each operational step can have a default resource associated with it, and each resource can have a default operator associated with it. A resource could be a piece of equipment, a work location like a workstation, or assembly line, or painting booths, or it could be an individual as a resource. In each of the operations, cost is calculated in a different way in this case. So a process is per hour cost to operate this bandsaw, and the time it will take to do one of these multiplied by the number to be made. So, fixed costs. Well, whether I put 1 lounge chair or 12 lounge chairs into the drying room or climate controlled room, it's still going to take 12 hours. And then for quality checks, you never know how long it would take, so simpler just to add a per unit cost in that case. So here I can see that I'm missing an item, but it doesn't mean that I can't start work. So I can go ahead and pick all, and it's going to tell me that, well, you don't have everything. So do you want to just pick what you have available? Yeah, that makes sense. So let's do that. So now that these have been removed from inventory, and I can get started, at least the first time. And it informs you that I've partially picked this. Once I receive the rest of the raw materials, in this case the screws, then I can move on to the next task. In the interim, I can get started on this job. If these weren't available, you can see that I could issue a purchase order from here as well. Katana is a very flexible program with very flexible navigation. Now, this manufacturing order is sitting in a schedule of orders. It's the most recent order to come in, so this is the sequence of orders. Like the sell screen, I can drag and drop orders to change priorities and reallocate committed resources very simply. I have the same stoplight color coding to give me a visual understanding, a real-time understanding of ingredient availability and production progress. If it's tied to a specific customer's order, I can see that customer and jump then into that order. Obviously, I can see the products that's being made on the work order, the quantities of the product, the total time in my shop, aggregated, time for each order, and any off nominal dates that Katana will draw my attention to in the system. And if I'm partially completing, I'll see what's already been completed. As we progress, the schedule view here helps me in understanding what orders I should make a priority or what resources I may need to allocate more people to. And I can filter and sort. So for example, if I want to see a 7-day forecast on my production deadline, I've only got 2 orders going out next week, and one of them is cutting it pretty close. So hopefully those ingredients will come in on time, but I can also filter by product type. So here I've got 2 coffee tables to make, different colors, very, very different in terms of when they need to be done. So no need to sort of consolidate this work here or do consolidated pick lists or things like that. But if they were very close, I might want to consider batching these jobs together. For a more granular understanding of the shop floor, I can take a look at the task view. So here again are all my orders broken out with all the individual operations and tasks. It brings over the deadlines for me, so I can sort by these, I can filter by these, plan quantities, what each operation is for the orders. I can filter just by the order, and I can filter by operation. So all of these cutting tasks. If they were all this week, let's say, and I had 8 hours queued up at the bandsaw, so not a big deal, plenty of time, plenty of bandwidth to get the work there. I can do bulk assignments from this view, so I can assign all of the rest of these tasks to operator 2, or I could change the status on those work orders. Of course, I can see the progress of individual tasks. On the done side, I have great reporting tools. So I can see plan versus actual quantities and report on those, and plan versus actual time. These can help me look back and understand maybe operations have to change, quality of materials might be in question, and I might want to source them from someone else or talk to my supplier about them if there's too much of a differential, most of the time. So let's jump back into this work order. I pick the items, but what happens when this item actually comes in? Well, let's jump to the purchase order. So somebody else on the team has received these and they've marked that PO as complete. Back on the work order, I'll see an immediate update as to stock availability. So we can do the complete job here. Now at this point, operator 1 has been assigned to this job. I could print out a pick list and a work order for them to work from. I could have them log into the main program here, and they could see their tasks and report on their tasks. Or like the warehouse app, there is the available shop floor control app. So this is where operator 1 would operate from all day long, and they would see just their specific tasks. And they could jump in and they could see availability of materials and the operations that they've been assigned to. And any notes added by the production manager or operations manager on the main work order in Katana, or they could add notes back as well if necessary in the system. They could start the task, and that'll start a timer. They can pause the task if they need to take a break, start a different task, come back to this task, or pause it and hand it off to somebody else to complete. Back in the main Katana system, I can see that operator 1 has started this task and that there's a timer running. When operator 1 finishes, they can be asked to report on actual quantities of materials used. So let's say a piece broke, so they wound up using 51 meters. They can add a note, correct piece, and go ahead and finish this task. And it shows cutting was finished. They'll get a confirmation pop-up. You select OK, and they can move on to the next task. Meanwhile, back here, I can see that the task is complete and Katana's logged the actual time versus the actual time spent versus the planned time, and the updated quantity of materials used versus the planned quantity. When this work order is done, it will update the overall costs of production for this particular run of 10 lounge chairs. Once all tasks have been completed and the last task that is marked as complete, the work order will be done. Now, I didn't pick the screws, so it's reminding me. The assumption is if I finished, I must have picked those screws. I wouldn't be able to hold the pieces of the chair together otherwise, so yeah, it's okay. We've got those picked out of inventory, the remainder item, and this is now done. In my schedule, I'm done. I can see that the planned actual time, the actual operations costs for this job, and any subassembly costs. Of course, there were no assemblies on this. Subassemblies on this, and the total cost from materials and operations at the task level on the done side. I can see the differentials in time as well, and easily report on these either from the Insights module or by exporting the data here. On the sales order side, I can see that this order is now showing in stock and can be delivered. It's a make to order workflow, but you can certainly do a make to stock workflow. So from the manufacturing screen, select the create manufacturing order button, or from anywhere else really in the software, you can go and select the create manufacturing order from the global create menu. And again, you can see that anywhere within Katana. Or if you recall from the stock screen, you can also generate manufacturing orders. Again, Katana is a very flexible program with very flexible navigation. So you might be asking, how did the manufacturing order understand what the material and operation needs were for the item sent over from the sales order? Well, let's jump to the item card for that lounge chair. Notice I've moved to the item catalog. So in Katana, when you create a product or import your products from another system, you can then configure that product item. You can give it a name, assign a category, a unit of measure. The unit of measure can be whatever you want, all the standard measures, of course, and any unique measurements that you would like to use that are particular for your operation. You can give it a variant code or a SKU. And this is important if you're mapping your products to other systems like e-commerce platforms or CRMs, etc. This would be the main mapped field to make those processes run smoothly. It would give it your default sales price, any barcode information. indicate whether you sell it, sell and buy it, buy and make it, kit and bundle it. You track batch, lot numbers, or serial numbers, and you can even set up variants. So I could have this particular one come in 2 different color stains. So I'll give this updated SKUs. And let's say that the walnut's a little bit more expensive, just looks a bit more expensive. Now, what's left to do is to add the BOM elements to this. So since I had set this up before, it's already got a default BOM for the walnut, but does it have anything for the maple? No. And so what I can do is just copy this to the maple. So now I'll review the maple and just swap out the stain. And I don't have it, so I will recreate a new material, and I'll buy this by the liter. It's make stain 001, and I'm charged $10 a liter when I buy that from the supplier. And it will also take 3 liters of stain, and I can further update the material item as well. And then when I actually get some in stock, the stock cost will update automatically for me right there. It's a new item, so no history here, so I can buy this if necessary. And if I want to see a comparison of the different product recipes or product bills of material, I could see that here, that the most of it is the same in this case, except for the different stain colors. Operations. These can also be whatever you want. Now, because I added a different variant, I need to decide if the tasks associated with putting these together are still the same. And in this case, it's pretty straightforward. No reason to have different tasks here. And I just need to decide what type of operation is this going to be in terms of the cost calculations going forward. So for this, it's pretty straightforward if you're creating it from scratch. So new products, SDR, category electronics, and I make this. And I will track serial numbers, and I'd like the system to automatically generate it whenever I complete a work order for this item. NP-SDR. I'll sell this for 1,000, and I can just start adding items to this. Let's put component 1 on there. I'll put 3 of those. And component B. I just need 1 of those. And maybe this is a little bit more complicated, so it's a subassembly. And I just need 1 subassembly. And the operations. This can just be a simple assembly at the assembly station. And then a final quality check at the quality check station. Assembly takes about 2 hours, and quality check 15 minutes, and everything just saves automatically. And what happens when I want to make a product with a subassembly? I don't have any in stock, so let's go ahead and make it. So the first thing it's going to ask me, what's the quantity? We'll just go with 1, but I do want to create the work orders for the subassemblies as well. Well, I've checked inventory and I don't have any, so yes, let's please do that. So let's create and open the order. I can see all of the components, the subassembly, the operations. It's showing me an expected date for the subassembly because it automatically created a work order for me. If we go look at that work order, I can see that I have everything in stock to make the subassembly. I just haven't defined operations. You can see how the numbering convention follows the parent work order. And depending on the level of subassembly, you would have a /1/1/1/2 if you had a multi-level BOMs or subassemblies going on. And if I look at it in the schedule, I can see that they've tied together, and the subassembly ties me back to that order and the normal statuses. So you've seen how purchase orders can be generated directly from different parts of the system, especially in relation to sales orders and manufacturing orders so far. All the purchase orders, open and closed or received, can be managed as well in the buy section. So this is my current list of purchase orders to my suppliers. And they're sorted by expected arrival, but you could filter and sort just like everywhere else in Katana. And again, the stoplight coloring coding system helps me understand visually in real time what the status is of these individual purchase orders. I can see who the suppliers are, and I can open individual purchase orders to review them further. So this is quite a bit past due, so I might need to update this. After speaking with the supplier, it's actually going to come on Monday now. I could see, though, that I have partially received this. And that's when those were received, and they still owe me these. Now, we could decide to cut our losses, and we're not going to get any more. And I could delete this, and this is what I have in inventory, and won't be getting these. On the done side, I could see all of the received orders. If I outsource part or all of my manufacturing, I can generate a unique purchase order that combines both the purchase order to my co-manufacturer to complete finished goods and the price that they charge me to do that per item. And any of the ingredients that I source on behalf of the contract manufacturer and ship to them so that they complete the co-packing or co-manufacturing that's required. And in here, I can manage my supplier lists, add suppliers, etc. I can generate a new purchase order from this screen by selecting Create Purchase Order, or again, I can use the Global Create button to generate a purchase order. But ideally, I'd want to generate purchase orders based on demand and need, so I saw how I could do that, for individual orders. Let's review how this can be done from the stock screen for particular inventory items. So we've already been talking about paint and staining, so let's have a look here. So as I can see from the various colors of paints that I get, all of them are from the same supplier, it looks like, that for some of the colors, I am in the negative. So if I filter by the negative, I can see what's needed, and it looks like it's all based on demand. I don't have any safety stock levels, so I have various demands here and time frames that's required. So I can initiate the purchase order right from here. For this material, I've set up a minimum order quantity. So although the outstanding amount is 4 liters, it's putting 25 on the order. It knows who the default supplier is. And while I'm here, I can tick this box to add any other missing items from the same supplier. So let's create and open that order. So there we go. It's added all the other missing paint to the purchase order. Minimum order quantities, set whatever the longest default lead time is from any of these items. Tally the price. All of this can be changed on the fly. I can add additional cost, landed costs, shipping, and customs, things just like that. And now I've efficiently created a purchase order to the same supplier so that I'm not sending multiple purchase orders to the suppliers and paying shipping more than once. I can then email this directly, add various documents to go along with it, including the purchase order, and wait for those to arrive. Now, if you have our planning module, you might want to use it to consider whether or not you actually need to order all of that paint in this example in one go. So we'll go back to those numbers and let's view how that looks in the planning module. So let's isolate those materials again. So there's my stockouts that were aggregated in the stock screen. But I can see here that for some of the colors, it's weeks away before the current demand will create a stockout if I meet production deadlines, etc. And if I go to the replenishment view for the same item, it actually gives me a suggested order by date, and I can initiate a purchase order from here as well. This cognac paint looks like it's got to be as soon as possible. The other thing the planning module can help you with is forecasting. So this is based on current demand for your particular company. I toggle on forecasting, and you can see the picture changes quite a bit. It looks like my average throughput or consumption of these colors has been almost 1 liter per week. So this can help me decide on a different purchase schedule, and replenishment is telling me ASAP across the board. So while current demand may not show that I need this, based on the past, it's forecasted that I will be getting orders in soon that will meet this average weekly throughput for this particular item. So as you can see, throughout Katana, there's many ways to generate purchase orders and manage your procurement. And it ties back very nicely to the other orders in the system. So if planning helps me look forward, then insights is what helps me look back. The insights module will aggregate data from closed sales orders, manufacturing order insights, if you have the advanced manufacturing add-on, and standard purchasing insights as well. You can see here that it provides me with various metrics and graphs based on my past sales performance. All the tables and underlying data for the graphs can be exported onto CSV type files. It can be filtered by time period, by location, by sales channel, order country, customer name, item, categories, names, and SKUs. I can look at sales performance by product, customer, and orders, all with the same filter options. On the purchasing side, this helps me understand and aggregate my spend from my different suppliers. I can see a general overview, apply filters, look at what's partially received, and still outstanding on open orders. I can review insights by supplier. The supplier report can show me details such as how accurate they are when promising delivery dates. I can see who I spend the most with over time. And if I do have the manufacturing insights, I can get a handle on my costs of manufacturing, ingredients usage, plans versus actuals, resources, cost differences, and cost centers for my manufacturing. Let's talk about actually just getting started with Katana. So when you first set up your Katana account, you'll be able to come directly into settings and then configure Katana in a way that works best for you. So you can set up your base currencies, you can default lead time, add units of measure, tax rates, categories. You can toggle on different features such as barcoding. You can add your operations, add your resources. Things like operations, resources, tax, unit of measure, those can all be created on the fly when generating orders in the system as well. But if you want to get a head start on those, you can certainly come into settings and just take care of that. You can also set up your various inventory locations. You can work on the standard print templates in the system to kind of make them your own. You can toggle on the warehouse app features or the advanced manufacturing features. If you're on a plan that has access to our API, you can start building API custom connections into Katana. And for getting started, we provide you with a lot of handy templates so that you can use them to bulk import products, materials, BOMs, operations, etc. And additional templates for ongoing item and inventory maintenance, bulk import of customers, suppliers, updating stock levels, stock prices, stock values. There's really just a lot of options. You can also start adding team members. All Katana subscriptions come with unlimited users, so there's no additional cost to add any users into the system. You can add just as many as you like. If you're adding operators or warehouse operators or shop floor operators as they're broken up, then you will need the requisite add-ons, so either the advanced manufacturing or warehouse add-ons. Operators don't access the main Katana program unless you set them up as a user as well. When you set up users, you can also set up their specific permissions, what they can and cannot do in the software. So there's things like what locations they can work in, what visibility they have on sales, profits, margins, costs, what workflows they're able to undertake in the system, and what admin tasks they can do as well, if any. And of course, once set up, you're going to want to connect your other apps. We make this a very easy process in Katana. So you just head to the integrations marketplace. You find the software that you want to connect to. You log into your account, and then you just follow the configuration guidelines. As you can see, this one here has already been configured. I'm just reconnecting. But for you, you'll be able to see your different QuickBook accounts and then map them accordingly in here. Once those fields have been completed and you follow the configuration of instructions, you can configure and activate the integration. In the case of QuickBooks specifically, it will actually change the UI. So it'll add an invoice column and add a bill column to Katana. You can see I've also connected to Shopify. I've connected to HubSpot, all through the integration marketplace with very easy to follow instructions. But you're not limited by these native Katana built integrations. You can use your API or some no-code connectors to connect software that you don't see available in the marketplace here. There's no extra cost for integrations with Katana, no extra cost for users, no cost per SKU. You could have tens of thousands of SKUs in here. So, see full pricing. You can visit our pricing page. And for all of these plans, it includes onboarding. So for a flat fee, you're assigned your own onboarding manager who's going to help and guide you through the entire process of implementing Katana. And we really encourage you to contact a sales specialist because they will meet with you and ensure the Katana is going to be a good fit for your needs. And they also suggest the best subscription plan that will work for you and start the process of signing you up and getting you into the onboarding queue. Anyway, that is it for this full demo of Katana. I really appreciate anyone who stuck around for the entire thing. And there's more videos and a very large knowledge base database to look through. So we've got hopefully everything you need to get running with Katana.